Have you ever thought about what goes into the shipbuilding process? Spoiler alert, there's a lot. I found myself on a plane headed to Italy to explore what we can expect with the shining new debut of the Sun Princess. As we're just under a year away, head on over to the shipyard and learn everything that we can see from the bare bone structure. Mind you, there's atmospheric hammering where we have to mind our head and watch our step. What a thrilling experience. I was so excited for this for every aspect. It was particularly chilly, but I tell you, the adrenaline of this experience kept me with a goofy smile on my face and so much fun. I'm so excited to take you through here at the Fincantieri Shipyard. Let's get started. I can hardly believe this is happening. Getting on board Sun Princess. Tradition holds. I always jump when I get on board. Right now, with it being a construction site, I have to use some stairs and then we'll be jumping. Whoa, this is incredible. First impressions, we are told to make sure that we are really paying attention to our surroundings. Working construction zone here. Super cool. We're on our way to our first destination of this 110-minute tour here. Of course, we're going to the heart of the ship. Can you guess where we're going? The atrium, of course. And it's loud. Can you hear the banging? We're passing by people, sparks flying. Intense.
So I've waited 6 years to say this, and that is welcome aboard Sun Princess. So, very exciting. This, what you're seeing now with the piazza here, is sort of an evolution of the piazza. So you'll find, again, as we talked about in the office, we're embracing the views. Of course, as you came on board the ship and you were looking from the coach, you would have seen our sphere glass, which gave the ship its name, the Sphere, Project Sphere. And they're currently covered up, and we'll take a look at them in a second. So basically, the spheres are 9 decks high. The bottom 3 of those decks is the piazza. Going up through the rest of the 6 decks is the accommodation. They are actually guest cabins. So they are beautiful cabins with huge balconies as part of the sphere. So very sort of unique cabins in that sense, just beautiful. So you join us here in the piazza, as I say, this is sort of our town square. You know, one of the things obviously with the piazzas, we use it for entertainment. Knowing that, you know, sometimes what we've done in the past is when we have designed the piazzas, we haven't necessarily designed them as an entertainment venue. This piazza has been designed as an entertainment venue. So what does that mean? So with the central circular void, and as we go through the ship, you'll keep seeing this reoccurring theme of sphere and circular. What we were trying to do when we designed the ship is sort of like not have straight edges. I know it sounds ridiculous, but we wanted to soften up the ship. With many ships that you see out there in the industry right now, not mentioning any names, but they look like condominiums on barges. And what we wanted to do is take a fresh look at these ships and soften the lines. Because, you know, Princess and our logo is a very sort of feminine and soft brand. And we wanted to reflect that throughout the ship. So as you were looking, you would have seen the promenade deck, how it slowly flows down the ship. Looking at the rendering here will just give you a bit of a better impression. So obviously the main feature here is we have a 3-deck high LED screen. So this LED screen can also move and it can reconfigure itself. So during the day, it doesn't go all the way around. Although I love that idea, but we didn't want, you know. So it will reconfigure itself. So during the day, it will be used for ambience to animate the venue. And then in the evenings, it becomes a central part of our production shows. And we will be doing productions in here. We also can do performer flying in here. So what you see here with the base of our piazza, where you see this circular and this keystone, that actually pops up as a stage. It is automated. And also, as we walk through the decks, and we'll look at some of the higher decks shortly, you'll see how we have done rake seating. You know, usually with our guests, if they stand up against the balcony looking down, you're blocking the view of the people behind you. On this ship, we have actually raked the seating so that a lot more of our guests have fantastic views of the stage.
for our founder and project manager. It's a pleasure to meet you all. As you can see, it's a very light, airy, modern piazza, which is where we wanted to go. The whole idea is that the circular brings your attention back to the stunning windows here. So you see the circular form. With materials, we've gone for a really beautiful, delicate light gray. The wood is sort of a modern white oak. And then, of course, beautiful, luxurious champagne metal detailing. Here we have design the heart of the ship, where guests collect, guests meet, guests relax during the day, and then in the evening turns into a place of entertainment, of mingling with more energy and style.
This is an additional coffee bar that will be offering all sorts of other different coffee types that we don't offer at the International Cafe. So this is an addition. Now, for those of you who know the Princess ships, you'll know that we usually have the International Cafe down on deck 5. What's amazing on this ship is we're at the base of the atrium right now. You're actually on deck 7. So the base of our atrium is deck 7. It goes 7, 8, and 9. Our International Cafe is actually at the top of the atrium on deck 9, and we'll reveal why we have done that shortly. We actually have cove balcony cabins below us. We actually have balcony cabins below the piazza. You know, if you want a view of the water, it's going to be incredible.
So we're here on deck 7, the location of a brand new coffee bar, Coffee Currents. With the sphere right next to us, we're going to be able to take in all of the views along with enjoying some new types of coffee that isn't previously available at International Cafe. So a whole new experience. In less than a year, we are going to be slinging Bellinis here at the Bellini Bar with the most incredible views. 11 months.
Fresh look. There's going to be some beautiful, Serbi, if I'm correct, yes, there's a beautiful artistic moment here on the ceiling that we're excited about. Definitely elevated, curved, modern design. We're really excited.
How funny that we're actually walking through a bathroom right now. But we just learned about the elevators and all of the technology that's going to be on board. We can look out for smart elevators, selecting the deck and then telling you what bay you're going to go to. Actually walking through the shops of Princess, one of my favorite pastimes on cruising, getting all the swag, getting the gear. This is where we can do all of that as well. We're walking now to the aft of the ship, and we're going to get some more of the incredible views and how they're really encompassing all of the curved lines of the ship here, bringing you closer to the water. Let's continue the walk aft as we're still on deck 7, moving along the shops of Princess here, and we'll learn about the Wheelhouse Bar and the Reserve Restaurant.
We will have big porthole type openings for that aspirational view through, and then beyond into a beautiful wine board display lobby. So you're literally walking through into a wine board, and it becomes a sort of jewellery box that you sort of opens up, and then before you see the whole restaurant. The palette itself was inspired by kind of yachts detailing luxury high-end yachts, just to bring that kind of opulence that we would all expect. For us, it feels a bit more compact and smaller because we're almost increasing the walkway and the divide between the restaurant and the bar to really protect that experience and keep it special and keep it intimate, which is kind of what people typically expect. But then when you walk through, you still get to see this lovely showpiece bar and you still have that engagement with it, but you don't feel like you're walking directly through it. And another thing that's interesting, being the Wheelhouse Bar, is obviously inspiration with navigation. So what we will have above the back bar is, like you can see in the visual, it's almost like it's inspired by a compass that radiates out. It points north to the restaurant opposite, but also it points towards the main dining room and also to the retail as well. So it becomes this almost navigation point, and it does anchor the space, and it's more than just the decoration. It is almost like a real anchor point to this zone itself.
The main dining room on Sun Princess is actually quite different to what we've done in the past. So on our existing fleet, we have done 3 restaurants, all distributed around, usually 2 off the atrium, 1 in the aft. What we've actually done in here is combine them into one large dining space, which is over 3 decks. The largest capacity is down on deck 6, and then deck 7 is slightly smaller, and deck 8 is smaller again. But the main entrance to the restaurant is on deck 7. So we're on deck 7 right now. So as we walk in, hopefully you'll kind of get the effect as we walk into the space. The Horizons dining room. So as I say, this is a departure for us. This is the evolution of a dining experience. So this is a 3-deck high restaurant. We are currently on deck 7, which will be the main entrance to the restaurant. Within it, we have connections. Where you see these large voids behind you, we'll be connecting staircases. The staircases are right over here. We can optimize the restaurants depending on time of day. So usually with breakfast, for example, guests are more inclined to go to World Fresh Marketplace, or they eat in their staterooms. And we can also deploy the restaurants to enhance that experience and make it as fast as possible. The other thing that really made us look at this is, as we walk aft here, you'll see the 2-deck high glass wall at the back of the ship overlooking the aft end of the vessel. So, I mean, this is going to be a high-capacity restaurant, but that said, it's the usual way we organize restaurants on the Princess ship, where it's broken up. So even though it's a large capacity, when you're sitting, you don't get the sense of that capacity, because you can only see the group around you.
So something we've learned thus far with the Princess brand, they're turning this innovative ship here inside out. The atrium on other ships is more inside, and now we're bringing it outside with the dome and the sphere. And the same here with the Horizons dining room and the feminine lines with the waves essentially carrying us through the inside of the ship.
So the restaurant is the restaurant, but we can also subdivide areas of it to become private meeting areas. And this restaurant allows us 9 private meeting areas, which has conference facilities, TVs, microphones, audio.
Throughout the ship, there's a strong consistency of the design language as you move through, specifically here with this restaurant, because they're going to get so much sunlight here as we're inside. There's going to be so many opportunities to dine and enjoy your meals here with fantastic wake views. As we're climbing the stairs, I'm envisioning all of the artwork that will be posted up through here. It's such a cool experience to see this here at the bare bone steel element, the process. Currently walking out of the Deck 8 Horizons restaurant out onto the wake.
This is open to all of our guests. So very interestingly, when we released this image online, everyone said, oh, you must have to pay for that. No, you don't. This will be open to all of our guests. That was a big piece of steel. So here we see we have a infinity pool that is cantilevered off the back of the ship, which is where these 2 gentlemen standing right now. Is the back of the cantilever. If you walk out that way, you are cantilevered off the back of the ship. And also, we have a glass pool. And it is glass on the front, and it is also glass on the rear as well. So it's going to be pretty darn spectacular. We have jacuzzis up here, so it's going to be a fun place to hang out during the day. We have a bar here in the center, and then in the evening it's going to take on a whole new life.
Hanging out on the cantilevered pool and hot tubs here in the Wakeview Terrace. This venue of the ship is incredible here. We are getting the Miami Beach vibes here. Directly behind us here, we have 2 clear glass elevators here. Incredible views. And then we have some suites here. I was told that these are some ADA suites as well. And then right above it, whoa! Guess what? A brand new specialty dining restaurant. Doesn't have a name just yet here, but the workers like to call it Altitudes. What do you think about that name? Do you think it'll stick? Who wants to do a pasta making class? Me. There's going to be a pasta room here in Sabatini's. Sounds like a good time.
So well, in the past we've had Ocean Terrace as a sushi bar. This will actually be a sushi restaurant. So that's what you see here.
Is that a specialty restaurant?
It will be a specialty restaurant, correct.
So this is pretty cool because this is the tiered seating here in the piazza. You'll be able to sit here and enjoy. And then this open gap right here is where staircases will be as it's going to open up the sight view here, as this is where we're going to see some of the shows.
A full bar, and you can see here how the ceiling has this sort of sunburst effect that will run through here. Right at the end we have a fantastic display of vintage microphones, and this will obviously very much 1950s Rat Pack vibe. We all know crooners, we all love crooners, and this is just a continuation of that. It will be out of place for the rest of the atrium. It will look strange. Through that door we have a new immersive experience, and I'm going to tell you nothing else. We're moving on. So that is going to be an exciting new concept, and I'm going to tell you nothing about it.
But we get to walk through the door.
No.
Oh,
no.
So here in a complimentary space is Alfredo's, a really great spot for lunch, right? You can come and enjoy the new Neapolitan style pizza from this oven that reaches up to nearly 1,000 degrees. Woo! I cannot wait. Leave me your favorite pizza topping down in the comments. Also, Alfredo's is going to have a large outdoor space. They're going to have heaters as well, so really going to be optimal for some al fresco dining. Deck 9 on the promenade deck here, we have International Cafe. Just joking that you can find me at the International Cafe, grabbing a bite, grabbing a coffee. And what's interesting here is our next venue is actually the buffet. Not on the top of the ship here. They moved it here so that it flows in, and we're going to see some new announcements with food coming very soon.
Now, something new on this Sun Princess is World Fresh Marketplace. World Fresh Marketplace is on deck 9. It is on this deck. It is not at the top of the ship. There's many reasons why we did it. One is the amount of space, but also it gives us instant access to the promenade deck. So World Fresh Marketplace could spill out into promenade deck. Sorry?
Takeaways?
Well, what we do also outside, we will have additional food outlets. Details to come in the future.
So this is the promenade deck here as we're walking along, moving from the International Cafe to the buffet here. Now, the interesting thing about the promenade deck is that it's not completely 360 views, but how incredible, there's no lifeboats above you on the promenade deck, which is huge, opening up this space, making it incredible, feeling so close to the ocean. Not only are there new dining options, expanding choices while we're in World Fresh Marketplace, the buffet on board, but when you step out onto the promenade decks, we're going to have more options for dining as well.
So here we are on the Cabana deck, and also forward and after here. So this, you probably may have seen the images, but it's a new style of cabin for us. So basically what you have is a balcony cabin, and I can't emphasize enough how much we have redesigned the cabin. We have another enclosed area. On the inside you have balcony doors, on the outside you have multi-leaf doors. So what you can do is open the multi-leaf doors, close your balcony door, and now you have a cabana from your balcony. Or you can close the multi-leaf doors, open the balcony door, and now you have a bigger bigger cabin. So this area that we're seeing right here is the private cabana deck. So if you book a cabana cabin, you will have access to this private cabana deck, mirrored on the other side of the ship as well. So these cabins here have direct access to this cabana area. You can see here, they can literally step out of it and they're into the cabana. If you don't want that, at the extremities here, you have other cabana cabins which have large balconies. They still have access to this area, but they need to walk outside their cabin and walk into this area. So it really depends what flavor of cabana you want.
So we're here on deck 9, very forward. We're in the cabanas area. This is amazing. A brand new concept here for Princess Cruises. is the Cabana deck. So directly behind me is the cabins. So if you're on here, deck 9, you'll have the additional opportunity to walk out into what will be this lounge space. Incredibly cool here. This is where I want my cabin to be on Sun Princess, just because of how the feel will be waking up to these incredible views, and with the particular very amazing design of being able to have your cabin within a cabin and walk through the different sections here. Really cool. I'm having goosebumps, pinch me moment that this is happening right now, that I'm here. I am so grateful. This is so cool. So if you want a bigger balcony, you can have one, because you'll have these indoor-outdoor spaces. As it'll open up, those doors will open up and you'll have even more space in your room here. Be the casino. This is something that really opened up our eyes. There's so much that goes into this shipbuilding here, but some of the major changes that they've made is making sure that the ceilings are high enough, not only for it to be a grand space for all the fun games to be had, but significantly because so many different casino games are built so high, and they've had to alternate games before to make sure that they can fit in the venue. Now they'll have the capability to have an even wider array of games and casino play inside. Additionally, there's going to be ribbon LED screens throughout this space that will allow you to know when someone hits a major jackpot.
Is that if you look around you, there's essentially no pillars. And that is a design feature we've had in all of our Royal class ships, and continues here on Sun Princess, where we have dramatically reduced, if not eliminated, pillars, so that we don't have sightline issues with our guests. So what we've designed, you know, as we look at this space, we use it for a multitude of different uses, but also thinking of shows in the future and things we'd like to do. Sometimes the theatre, as a proscenium theatre, can become a limitation. So what we took a fresh look at our venue here. So what we have built here in the arena is a venue that can reconfigure itself. So what we see here is right in the center here, where you see this machinery, this is our center stage. From this, we go back into what we call a keyhole stage. So we have 3 different options here. So one thing we can do is we can have this area filled, and this then becomes a proscenium. Finally, what we could do is drop the stage upstage, bring around automated seating, and now we have theatre in the round. So the theatre can reconfigure itself for its different performances. Brand new concept for us, and brings the performers right up to the guests.
It's showtime here in the Princess Arena. One of a kind, with all of the configurations. 3. This is super cool. Some of the seating is stationary, some of it will get tucked in the way. And this is the stage right here with the rendering. Really, really cool to see how we're going to be entertained here. They don't call it a Princess Theater anymore. It's the Princess Arena. Basically, within this entertainment district, we're seeing some major changes with Good Spirits at Sea. Good Spirits is a classic bar for Princess Cruises, but within this venue, it's set up a little bit differently, as it's an enclosed space with a capacity of about 50 people.
It's a show bar where our mixologist will show our guests how to make drinks. Very much a show, and then obviously our guests can enjoy those drinks. We have a lot of technology going in here as well, on the walls, on the tables, in order just to enhance that entire experience. So this will be a very much enclosed experience, immersive, and an expansion of Good Spirits that we know today. This will be our Princess Live venue, designed by Harry. Comment?
Yes, I think this place being such a low ceiling height is a particular challenge, but as you said, it's very much an entertainment space, for which has to be suited for day, suited for night. So we're really making this space work extra hard for all sorts of occasions. A lot of concealment of you know, all the technological equipment and everything. So in the daytime, you still just see this beautiful venue that really guides your eyes to the stage. We've kind of utilised columns where sometimes we try and hide them. In this venue in particular, we've kind of used them to form this sort of bridge that wraps around the circulating space, but also guides your eye back to the stage, because that is the real focal point in this space. And unusually as well, for once, the bar isn't actually the feature. We've sort of tucked it to the side because it is actually more of a service only to the venue. So that, although it is like a lovely, detailed, beautiful design back bar and bar front, really this is sort of like an outwardly facing venue.
Here in Princess Live, it's designed a little bit differently here, as the stage is going to be there. It's outward facing, again, bringing you to the ocean. The bar is going to be tucked over to the side. We were just in the other bar as well across the way. This is almost like the entertainment district. Over here, we're going to have the gelateria and, spoiler, a new bar concept. Stay tuned for that. I'm going to continue on over to the Crown Grill bar.
I don't really realize if you walk around, you know, on the lower class when you think about entertainment, you have to think that on that ship you have that 7 to 8, you know, there's public spaces everywhere. So I think we really got a sense of that, you know. So unfortunately, one of the venues we can't show you today is the Dome. The Dome is up on deck 17, and obviously it's quite a climb, but also it's a venue that's only just recently been dropped on board the ship, so we're unable to kind of take you up there today. But what we wanted to do is share the Dome with you. So obviously this is a major entertainment venue for us. So this is an enclosed glass dome. Has 2 decks, deck 17 and deck 18, but obviously the dome itself is much larger than that. It's fully climate controlled, so during the daytime you'll be able to go up there, enjoy the sun in a climate controlled environment, grab a coffee, you know, read, whatever you want to do up there. And then in the evening it becomes a major entertainment venue. What you see here is you're standing in this rendering at the forward end looking aft. You're standing basically on this image in the swimming pool. The swimming pool is an indoor-outdoor swimming pool. It starts in the dome and then you can swim forward into the sea view terrace area on the front of the ship, which you can see over here actually. In addition, we have automation, so the swimming pool will become a stage.
Never-ending views. One of the things about this ship and this location is that you're right up on the bow on 17. Not deck 7. And so we've terraced the whole dome up to level 18, so everyone's got these giant views out the front of the ship, which are really beautiful. For us, it's really important to have like a natural element in here. So you see this giant green wall with these tree-like structures. There's a massive waterfall here. So when you're in the space, you hear it, sounds different, feels different. If you look up in these ceilings right here, I've been walking around all day just fascinated by how much stuff is up here. We have to really deal with the systems that go into the room. Like where's the air conditioning, where's the lighting, where's the sound going to be. So we created these what we call tulips right now, so that we can push all the air up through the tulips, put all the equipment in there, and keep that kind of environment feeling as kind of like hospitality as possible. What's really cool is at night, as Richard mentioned, this whole thing converts into a stage. So the furniture converts from day beds into seating, and the entire surface of the interior of this glass dome can be projected on, and we can have a live performance happening here. So we're pretty excited about it.
This is sort of one of our main embarkation and disembarkation areas. What you should note, actually, you know, when we designed the ship too, we had as many, or we included as many embarkation and disembarkation points as possible, whether that be for our guests, but also for provisions, luggage, just to make the ship as efficient as possible. These doors are remarkable. They are 3-deck high doors. And what these actually are will have gangways within them. If you are coming on board the ship, whether it's on deck 3, deck 4, deck 5, The gangway moves with the ship and the tide, so you always enter on deck 4. So these are remarkable pieces of engineering, and if you see them from ashore, they are enormous. So again, this will be our embarkation, disembarkation point. You'll, for many, many ports, this will be the point where you first come on board our ship. This is where you'll go through security. And this area here will be sort of a lounge. It's optimized for our tenders. So we bring down our guests into this area and prepare them to jump onto our luxury launches and make that process as painless as possible. And also when we're bringing guests ashore from many different ports, this will be the point they come on. There'll be a bar area, but also grab and go, so you'll be able to grab bottles of water or sodas or whatever to take ashore with you, not food. And also when you come on board, obviously this is the first point they'll greet you. And it just makes the experience a lot more consistent. What you'll also see, as we came into the midship stairs. That's where we just walked down. This corridor, which we may cut through in a little bit, takes us to the forward stairs and the forward elevators. So when you come on board this into this area, you can go to the midship or you can go all the way forward. And this is all finished to guest specification. So as soon as you walk on, instead of feeling like you're in a crew area, you're instantly in a guest area. The other thing that with this space too is when we're at sea, this space can also be used as a MICE space for meetings and other activities.
Wow, our time on board has come to a close. What an incredible tour it has been here. Just the little nooks and crannies and quite the shipyard way to walk off the ship here. But truly incredible. I cannot wait to be back. Let me know what you're most excited about. If you're interested in booking the Sun Princess as well, head to my website so you can check that out. All of the different accommodations and all of the new releases as they come out. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video here. That does it. Remember to hit the thumbs up. And until next time, when we're back on board, Sun Princess. I'm so thrilled to have shared this incredible experience in this intimate group here with everyone with Princess Cruises. How incredible of an experience. I will cherish this for a very long time. Visiting a shipyard has been on my bucket list, and I'm so grateful to share it with you here as well. I thank you guys so much, and I cannot wait to hear a welcome back on board Sun Princess again in the near future. Until next time, ciao for now.